in the heart of Aotearoa, New Zealand, where the earth itself breathes steam and mist clings to ancient secrets. Some stories are so powerful they become part of the land. They're whispered in the wind, mirrored in the water, and passed down not as myths, but as living history. Deep in this land, nestled among steaming cliffs and geothermal wonders, lies Lake Rotorua, which holds a timeless secret, a story of a love so powerful it defied chieftains and conquered the water itself. This is the legend of Hinemoa and Tutanekai, and the night one woman's courage, guided only by the sound of a flute, turned a forbidden romance into an eternal legacy. Before we begin, if you love uncovering hidden, dramatic moments from history, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment with your thoughts. It really helps us bring you more stories like this one. Our story begins on the shores of Lake Rotorua, a landscape of breathtaking beauty. Here, in the village of Awata, lived a woman named Hinemoa. She was the daughter of a great chief, Mokoia, a woman of immense grace and high rank. Because of her noble birth, she was a puhi, a woman whose marriage would be a crucial alliance for her people. Suitors came from all over, but her family refused them all, as none were deemed worthy of a woman of her standing. Across the shimmering waters, on the sacred island of Mokoia, lived a young man named Tutanekai. He was handsome, strong, and played music that could capture the heart. But Tutanekai's place in society was complicated. Though his mother was a chief's wife, he was born from an affair, and this detail, in a world governed by strict lineage, made him an unsuitable match for the highborn Hinemoa. Their worlds were separated by more than just the roughly 3 kilometers of water between the mainland and Mokoia Island. They were separated by an invisible wall of tradition and rank. Yet, destiny has a way of ignoring such walls. During the great tribal gatherings, or hui, held on the mainland, Tutanekai would travel from the island. It was here, among the speeches, songs, and warrior games, that he and Hinemoa first saw each other. Tutanekai excelled in all displays of skill. His prowess with Maori weapons was unmatched. Hinemoa, watching from afar, felt her heart stir for this warrior from the lake island. Tutanekai, in turn, could only gaze at the beautiful chieftainess, believing his status made any advance impossible. For a long time, their love was a secret language spoken only with glances across crowded Mary. They had never spoken a single word to each other, yet both knew a connection had been forged. Finally, unable to bear the silence, Tutanekai sent a message to Hinemoa confessing his feelings, and to his joy, she revealed she felt the same. Their love, once a silent glance, was now a shared and dangerous secret. When Hinemoa's family learned of her affection for Tutanekai, they were furious. They forbade the union, reinforcing that his birth status made him an unsuitable match. But Hinemoa and Tutanekai, their hearts bound together, refused to be deterred. They made a plan. Tutanekai told her, "At night, when you hear the sound of my flute across the water, it is I. Come in your canoe." And so, their ritual of longing began. Every evening, as dusk settled, Tutanekai would climb a hill on Mokoia Island, sometimes with his friend Tiki, and play his flute. The haunting notes would drift across the dark, still water, carried by the wind to Hinemoa's home. For Hinemoa, that sound was both a promise and a torment, the voice of her beloved calling to her, a call she was powerless to answer. Her people suspected her intentions. To ensure she couldn't escape, they pulled all the canoes, the waka, far up the beach, leaving them high and dry. Night after night, Hinemoa would stand on the shore, listening to the distant, soulful music. The sound that was meant to be her guide had become a painful reminder of the water separating them. She would sit on the rocks and weep, her heart aching. The days turned into weeks, and the nightly serenade continued. Hinemoa's desperation grew. Trapped on the shore, with the sound of her love echoing in the darkness, she knew that if she wanted to be with Tutanekai, she would have to defy not just her family, but the lake itself. A daring idea began to form in her mind, a plan born of pure resolve. One night, as the familiar notes of the flute once again reached her, Hinemoa's resolve hardened. Her people had taken the canoes, but they hadn't taken her courage. She would swim. The journey was perilous. Lake Rotorua's waters at night are cold and dark. To help her, Hinemoa gathered 6 large, hollowed-out gourds, called hu. and tied them to her body as a makeshift flotation device. Standing on a rock at the water's edge, now known as Hinemoa's Point, she slipped into the chilling lake. The night was pitch black. She couldn't see Mokoia Island. Her only beacon in the immense darkness was the unwavering sound of Tutanenkai's music. With every stroke, she pushed through the cold, her body trembling but her spirit on fire. This was more than just a swim. It was an act of profound defiance. This was an expression of mana wahine, the inherent power of a woman taking control of her own destiny. The dark waters were all the fears and obstacles before her, but the music was the thread of hope pulling her forward. The journey felt endless. The cold seeped into her bones. But whenever her strength wavered, the melody of the flute would find her again, reminding her why she was braving the abyss. Against all odds, guided by sound and the sheer force of her will, she finally reached the shores of Mokoia Island. Exhausted and cold, Hinemoa pulled herself from the water and found a geothermal hot spring near the shore. She slipped into the warm, soothing water of the pool, known to this day as Wakemihia or Hinemoa's Pool. There, hidden in the steam, she regained her strength. As fate would have it, Tutanekai, feeling thirsty, sent his servant to the spring to fetch water in a gourd container. Seeing the servant, Hinemoa hatched a plan. In a gruff, disguised voice, she asked who the water was for. "It is for Tutanekai," the servant replied. Hinemoa then demanded a drink, and after drinking, she smashed the gourd on the rocks. The servant returned to Tutanekai empty-handed. Annoyed, Tutanekai sent him back with another gourd, but again Hinemoa broke it. After this happened a second time, an enraged Tutanekai grabbed his weapon and stormed down to the spring himself, determined to confront this insolent stranger. He peered into the steaming darkness, demanding to know who was there. And then, from the water, Hinemoa revealed herself. In that moment, Tutanekai's anger melted into pure joy. The woman he had longed for was here. She had crossed the lake for him. When the sun rose, the people of the island saw that Hinemoa was with Tutanekai. Faced with such undeniable determination, both families eventually relented. Their union, once forbidden, was now accepted, forging a bond of peace between their tribes. The story of Hinemoa and Tutanekai isn't just a legend. It's a living part of Rotorua's history. Mokoia Island remains a sacred place for the Aotearoa people. The hot spring Wakemihia still bubbles with warm water, a physical link to this epic love story. And to this day, the descendants of Hinemoa and Tutanekai live in the area, carrying the legacy of their brave ancestors. Their story of courage is famously echoed in one of New Zealand's most beloved songs, Pōkarekare Ana, a melody that speaks of the stirring waters of a lake and a love that overcomes all distance. It's a testament to a romance that was also a powerful act of courage, and it continues to inspire people to this day. This story of courage and love has echoed for generations. What do you think is the most powerful part of their story? Let us know in the comments below. To learn more about the rich culture of the Aotearoa people and the land they call home, you can explore the incredible history of Rotorua. And for more timeless stories from the heart of Aotearoa, New Zealand, make sure you subscribe.